everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Voices Beyond Borders, the podcast where we meet inspiring change makers shaping the future across the globe. Today, we are very happy to meet Martine Zaarour, a Lebanese architect, entrepreneur, and social innovator. Martine is the founder of Jar Thuraya, a woman led food business that blends tradition, heritage, and economic empowerment. She is also a mentor, a trainer, and an international fellow with experience in the US, Spain, and beyond, shaping businesses that really empower women and youth. مارتين أهلا وسهلا بالبودكاست.
Hi, Francesco. Thank you
كيفك؟
for having me.
مارتين قبل ما نبلش our conversations ونحكي about your achievements والchallenges اللي قطعتي فيها خبرينا مين بتكون مارتين زعرور؟
Well, على base architect. خلصت architecture بLAU. I moved to Madrid and I worked at an architecture office there. After that, I came back to Lebanon, had a few projects here and there. But randomly, I went through a program that wanted to support women and gender equality specifically. And the idea of Jar Thuraya started. So this is when I started shifting from architecture to entrepreneurship. So من البيتون للزعتر
Huge shift.
was a wild ride. Yeah, so I moved to DC. Actually, I was working for a food startup in Arlington called Hungry, where they worked with different chefs of different ethnic backgrounds, and it was my first step into the food business somehow. Then I came back to Lebanon. I launched Jar Thuraya, and 2 years later, I moved to San Francisco as a fellow. I don't know if you want to get to that later.
Later on a little
okay.
bit 100%.
But basically, I moved from being an architect to an entrepreneur, and now I give trainings to youth. And it's been a great learning curve.
That's great to hear. Martine, هلا you mentioned a little bit about your journey from Madrid to the US to Lebanon all across the globe. فسؤالي لإلك, how this international experience اللي عندك إياها really shaped your vision on what a women-led business should be like?
Well, it's all about working hard, recognition, and allowing women to speak up and be represented. So from my different experiences, especially the one in San Francisco, because I worked for a nonprofit that supported women of color start their own business. And I was able to relate to the challenges of women in Lebanon and the women on across the globe. So we share a lot of the same challenges and we all want the same thing. So I feel like we're all the same basically when it comes to that, but it's where you are that shapes you and sets your expectations.
I'll add, you mentioned something important, Tony. We're all the same. ما بيأثر إذا جاي من لبنان أما من US أما anywhere in the world. We all have the same dreams. We all have the same challenges. It's the context أما environment that we are عايشين فيها that shapes us.
Exactly.
When you were doing your fellowship بالUS, when you were being surrounded by women from all across, again كمان the globe, I'm pretty sure, experiences, socio-economic backgrounds and all of this, شو تعلمتي منهم أكتر شيء? And what lessons did you bring with you back to Lebanon and adapted to Jar Thuraya?
Okay, so funny story, and it was all shaped by my stay there. So I lived in the same house with 70 people. 70 people from around the world. And as an only child, it was a little bit challenging for me, but being in a place where you have all these people from different gender, ethnicities, skin colors, religions, and then having to go to work and work with women of color, especially Latina. So actually, it was life-changing for me. It shaped everything. It set my expectations really high. The environment I was in made me realize that we're all the same. Literally, we're all the same, and we share a lot of things in common, whether we speak the same languages or not. So when I came back to Lebanon, I wanted to feel that my business is being more inclusive, it's treating everyone the same way, and it's really giving a voice to the women of Lebanon. So, yeah, definitely my experience was shaped by working there, for sure.
I love that. I actually can see it in your eyes when you're talking about your experience, when you're talking about these women's, like, I can see like you're passionate about this. And this will drive me هلا to our actual conversation, which is Jar Thuraya.
Yes.
So صرنا ذاكرين جار ثريا مرتين ثلاثة. شو هي exactly؟
جار ثريا بلشت كمبادرة لدعم السيدة الريفية يلي بتشتغل بالمونة التقليدية. So أساساً كنا بنشتغل مع سيدات ببيوتهم. So and then we moved to kitchen cooperatives around different rural areas. So the goal was to provide them with financial stability, but at the same time acknowledge their efforts in contributing to the preservation of our food heritage. Donc, we sourced the products from those women and we labeled the jars with their name, where they come from, show recommendation, how do you pair this product with other products as well. And we focus now on plant-based, vegan, completely green, 100% natural foods. And we're completely plastic-free as well. So giving the acknowledgement to the women by adding their names and at the same time providing them with working opportunities all year long, combining this with preserving the cultural heritage and the food heritage that we have in Lebanon.
That's very important Martine, especially عم تقولي بلشت كمبادرة لدعم المرأة الريفية.
صح.
مثل ما بنعرف especially بلبنان ال opportunities are not that available يعني لمين ما كان بالأخص للwomen especially بالمناطق اللي بعيدة على بيروت. كل ما تطلعي من بيروت من المين ديستريكت ال opportunities بتخف أقل. فقد كان important لأليك إنه تكوني عم بتمكني هودي النسوان these women بس بنفس الوقت تكوني عم بتحافظي على التاريخ اللبناني، تراث لبناني اللي كلنا مين ما عم بيسمعنا اليوم أكيد عنده أمه، سته، خالته، عمته، عنده حدا بعائلته بيعمل هيدي المونة بيشتغل فيها وبينبسطوا فيها. فقد كان انت important لأليك إنه هيدي المسج we need to preserve it, we need to preserve this tradition.
It's very important لأنه أول شيء it comes from a skill that the women have been building for years. So it's not something you acquire in a day or two. Donc, de un, the preservation of this. De deux, they need to feel independent, they need to make their own money, they need to feel like they are contributing, whether للcircular economy ولا and the export that we do and anything, they need to feel like they are productive people, and they are. Ou de trois, it's something that we need to maintain for the collective memory أول شيء بلبنان. تنجي لأن it's our identity, it's who we are. Donc, I feel like each one of us should be contributing to something that actually preserves somehow the heritage. I feel like this comes from my architecture background. And it was very important for me to see building being renovated, being preserved. And it's not just the concrete, obviously, it's the architect behind it and the story, etc.
It's the story, it's the memory.
Exactly.
It's a shared experience.
واسم جار ثريا كمان comes from the collective memory عنا بلبنان, and it's a very famous name in musical and plays, as you know. It doesn't target any specific area or religion. It's just part of هيدا الميوزيكال heritage اللي إذا بدك عنا إياه. والجيران بيشتغلوا مع بعض بالتراديسيون بالمونة كانوا. And everything we do is in jars. As I said, we're plastic free.
That's good to hear. مارتين كأن entrepreneur مثل ما بتعرفي especially based بلبنان رح تقطعي بكتير صعوبات. كل يوم في مشكلة جديدة، كل يوم في a new something obstacle that prevent you from sharing your impact and your story.
صح.
Along your journey من أول ما بلشتي بجار ثريا لليوم شو هني الأكتر مشاكل اللي عم بتواجهيها وكيف عم تتخطيهم لهودي المشاكل؟ شو اللي عم بخليك تكفي لل second day؟
If you can't, I don't even know where to
سؤال
start.
صعب.
يعني honestly, every entrepreneur I met in Lebanon went through struggles. يعني it's not just me. We're all going through challenges. كل واحد على حجمه مثل ما بيقولوا. It's something that impacted people, whether they're entrepreneurs or not. Donc, it's basically when you have a good system, when you have a good infrastructure, whether it's in the startup ecosystem or in the way you think, everything is going to work and you're going to like survive the challenges. But you need to have clarity. It's not about knowing what you need to do every day, but it's about having a clear vision on the long term. So once you have this clear vision and you set a right roadmap, you can, cross all the challenges حتى لو كانوا شوي صعبين. بعدين the external factors, we need to understand that they're out of our control. So we cannot stress and complicate our life over things we cannot control. So the best approach بهيدي الطريقة خصوصا بلبنان بعد الأزمة الاقتصادية safety and security as well. We can do as much as we can بالبابل تبعنا where we can scale حتى لو فشخة لقدام كل يوم is better than just stressing out. We don't know what's going to happen. So better yet live and get things done.
Thank you أول شيء مارتين. It's something important that you mentioned. Again بلبنان كل يوم في مشكلة جديدة. وإذا بدنا نخلي كل هذه المشكلة تكون عم توقعنا خلص أنا I don't want to continue ما رح نكون عم نعمل
ما
impact
فينا نكون
ما فينا
victim
نشتغل
exactly رح
بالنهاية like life has to move on in a way and part of being an entrepreneur is having that resilience having that mindset إنه okay I don't have everything figured out I don't have all the resources I don't have all the opportunities but I believe in my message I believe in my story and I know that people are interested in what I have to bring so I just have to stay silent, work hard,
Yep.
push another day, push then another day after, do small actions every single time
and
until
explore the opportunities that are
explore
available, like whether it's
100%.
AI, whether it's opportunities across borders, meeting new people, networking, learning a new tool, anything that gets you a step forward. So
And فينا كمان نقول مارتين انت بشغلك ديركت على الارض مع الwomen it's a motivation لإلك كمان فاذا
it
انت
is.
you fail you're failing all of these women in a way
صح.
it's like an extra push انه
It's
I'm not alone in
responsibility.
this it's a responsibility 100% you're not in this alone you have uh, a duty إذا فينا نقول أما a mission to represent these women but also to offer them what maybe they could not do it by themselves
صح.
this is huge حكينا شوية obstacles حكينا challenges بس بالمقابل كمان في عنا achievements في عنا awards في عنا good moments
صح.
فكمان let's talk a little bit more about هودي achievements اللي جار ثريا قطعت فيهم شو هن شو أكتر achievement أنت بالنسبة لك عن جد أثر فيك كمارتين بس كمان كجار ثريا
اوكي سو مثل ما قلت لك التشالنجز كانوا basically مثل حيلا تشالنج حيلا حدا تاني قطع فيها whether it was the lockdown during COVID ولا انهيار العملة بلبنان بس when it comes to Jarthurya it was more مثلا example the seasonal availability of our products so if there are no seasons there are no production فهون we had to innovate and get into a spread line that I mentioned before the plant-based products يلي don't require any seasonal availability تقدروا يشتغلوا كل السنة. So we're kind of transforming the challenges that we face into opportunities. It's a hard process but إنه we try to make things better. And when things get rough in Lebanon we expand برات لبنان we actually exported to a few countries already. So هون كانت ضيقة برا كانت الماركت available. So it was challenging بس على طول when you believe إنه things are gonna get better it doesn't really eat you up. About the awards we did get a lot of recognition. أول واحدة كانت BDC with the State Department and the US Embassy. So Jarthuraya was awarded Best in Cultural and Environmental Preservation. And I feel like it was my biggest milestone because I was still working in architecture back then. I had zero business background. It was like my first step into entrepreneurship. I left when the revolution happened and I came back, COVID had already started. So it was already a very chaotic period for me, for the company, for the country. And bringing this back home felt like a huge achievement, especially that I was working in a different country. So another one would be definitely being at Dubai Expo, at another expo in Qatar, in the UAE. I mean, I don't know, so many. Honestly, I don't want to brag about them, but they were baby steps and little achievements that got us to where we are. And through Jar Thuraya, I'm going to be going to the Netherlands with the Embassy of the Netherlands, actually, to represent Lebanese women in a fellowship on women's leadership. So it would be my third fellowship. I'm so excited.
Amazing. Thank you, Martine. Before we continue, I want to take this opportunity to also thank the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands for their generous support and making season 3 truly happen and sharing inspiring stories like yours, Martine, with us today. Thank you again to our sponsor. Fellowships. مثل ما عم نحكي هلا this is your third fellowship.
Yes.
خبرينا a little bit more about them. What is a fellowship and why they are important to the work you're actually doing today?
So, as I mentioned, my first fellowship in DC, I worked with the food business, and then I came and started Jar Thuraya. During the second one, it was working with those women of color and guiding them through starting a business. So, my team at Centro, where I worked, was a very diverse team. They led me through every step of the way, and I had to work one-on-one with so many women of different backgrounds. It was so exciting to hear their stories, learn about their businesses. And when I came back to Lebanon was actually the start of me giving trainings to youth and women as well. So the fellowship is basically a professional experience that you get, whether it's in a university or certain government, and it kind of shapes your career and puts you on a different track if you want to. So my second fellowship definitely paved the way for the person I am today. And the diversity, as I mentioned, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like
That's good to hear.
being there. Yeah.
It's important, Anjad, when you allow yourself to step out of your comfort zone and be surrounded by people who are a little bit different than you are,
Very
with different
different.
shared experiences coming from all across the world. يعني بتنحطي بمحل تنجبري انه تكوني عم بتفكري بطريقه differently.
Definitely.
And الحلو بالموضوع انه once you start thinking differently, that's when innovation happens. That's when we can come up with new solutions, we can create better impact. وإسا كمان بعد الأحلى, this is when you start looking at the other person and like, I'm so lucky to be somewhere, to have this opportunity to just learn about life. لأنه إذا we stay in our own bubble ما رح نكبر. Just having that mentality and having that opportunity to grow, it's amazing. And you can see it translated in your work, Anjad Martine.
Thank you.
If you had to give one advice to young women اللي بدهم يبلشوا البزنس تبعهم اليوم بلبنان, شو بتكون هالادفايس؟
أول وحدة definitely self-care. Take a break, pause. Whenever you're tired, give yourself the time to do something you love. Give yourself the time every day to sit with yourself. I have it because as an only child, I'm used to being by myself and I really cherish this time. But give yourself the break when you go through a burnout, when you're tired. The company will only grow if you're okay. The company will be okay if you're okay. And I went through a lot of challenges that made me pause on my company because I could not perform the way I wanted to and up to my own expectations. Donc, the first recommendation would be that. The second one, that no matter what the challenges are, you can still make it happen one way or the other, as long as you're committed to the work.
100%. That's very important. Martine, حكينا about your advice to young women. Now, what would be your advice to young entrepreneurs en general بلبنان؟ بالنسبة لك شو هي المنتاليتي اللي لازم تكون عندهم إياها تيقدروا to persevere, تيقدروا يضاينوا للنهار التاني؟
So it's the same advice regardless of the gender. Give yourself the time, self-care, commit to your work, but at the same time, don't lock yourself in the bubble that we call Lebanon. ما رح سميها bubble, but I'm gonna say there's so much more beyond borders that you can explore and always come back. You can get more info, education, people, and always come back and invest in what you learned here. But don't play victim. Don't feel like everything happening in Lebanon is gonna eat you up, because it's not. Like, the last 10 years of my life and the last 10 years of Lebanon were extremely challenging, and I'm gonna say it was an amazing time I gave myself, my company, my travels. Don't let anything stand between you and what you really want.
One thing, crises are, yes, they are hard. They make you suffer a lot. بس at the same time, it's الوقت اللي عن جد اللي انت بتقدري تعملي شيء منه.
صح.
لأنه during crises, this is when you can see, okay, these are the problems. Might have a solution and the impact is way bigger لأنه people بيكونوا عن جد بحاجة لهذا السولوشن. فرح يكونوا عم بيحسوا فيه أكتر وأكتر بعد. Martine, what's next for Jarthurya?
Oof. Okay, so recently we've been giving the women vocational training on how to do chocolate. So we wanted to launch a chocolate line filled with the jams that they are making. So it's been a few months. We're in R&D, and once we have a final product, you're gonna hear about it for sure. We might expand into new co-ops for the holidays and work on pastries as well. And we're also launching new flavors for the spreads collection that will include more floral infusions. So expect some lavender with the carob, etc.
That's good to hear.
And we're also re-entering the French market soon as well. And what else is happening? I mean, the seasons are gonna start in like the next 2-3 months. Actually, like 2 months from this podcast. So we're excited about what's coming. So it's also shaped by the harvest. It's shaped by the weather. So we have to wait for the seasons and discover what's coming.
But that's good to hear. And to anyone listening or watching this episode today, if you want to know more about Jar Thuraya, the products that you're offering, and all the new updates. You can make sure to follow them on social media, but كمان also to visit their website. Martine, I want to know more about you as Martine as a person. You've been working on this for almost 5 years now. What is next for you as an entrepreneur, as a woman, as a human living on this earth?
If I mean, the older you get, your dreams, standards, and what you want for your life changes or kind of reshapes. So I'm really enjoying the work I'm doing now. I've been giving trainings for youth and women, as I told you, on basic entrepreneurship. I also work with LAU as external consultant on some projects. And I really want to put more time in Jar Thuraya because I feel like it's my baby. I want to grow it, and growing it means like success for Jarthurya is success for me. So I want to put more time in that. I also want to put more time in traveling this year, and get more into my hobbies as well. I'm trying to DJ,
That's
and
very
I
cool.
just love going on my S3E4. I give myself the time to do what I love, and really focus on my career at the same time. So as much as I can.
That's great to hear. Martine, حكينا كتير صراحة about your entrepreneurship journey, بس في one thing we actually missed. Your work in youth empowerment. يعني already حكينا you're already very into women empowerment, بس كمان you're into youth empowerment. Why is this something important لك أنت? Why do you want to empower other youth, especially بلبنان, to be the best version of themselves?
Because I was once in their shoes. And when Jarthurya started, I was actually unemployed. I had left my architecture job and I had my parents nagging over my head to apply here and there. But I spent around 6 months trying to figure out how to write a business plan by myself. And it was challenging, but it was good. And I wished I had someone who was somehow my age to guide me. Not my age, so somehow to guide me through
Who's
the
been through
steps.
your steps, me, meaning?
Exactly. Donc it's about giving back. If you're not giving back, then what's the point? And the people I've been working with recently are super motivated and excited about bringing their ideas to life, and you can see it in them. So it's just about supporting the people of my country to become better versions of themselves and create opportunities.
That's very important. And as an entrepreneur, as a woman, as a leader, giving back is always important for us.
Definitely.
Because if we don't give back, then how are we supposed to grow? How are we supposed to multiply our impact as well?
Exactly.
Martine, to finish this episode, one last question to everyone listening today, especially to all the young viewers and listeners. What would be your one advice for them to work on, to maybe take into account and start creating an impact?
There's one thing I always mention that even if you studied something else or if you have a major in something else different than your background or your business, different than the business idea that you want to develop, it's okay. We all go through this identity crisis. I've been there. Between architecture and entrepreneurship, it was a very different fields. So I feel like if you love something, go after it. Even if you don't have the knowledge or the tools, acquire them, learn, and you will make it happen.
Thank you so much, Martine. This has been amazing. I'm pretty sure everyone listening to us today or watching this episode will leave this with like, okay, I learned something new. I'm maybe more interested in knowing more about Martine, which we already mentioned that they can follow you on social media. And thank you for persevering, for believing in the Lebanese women, and for being just this active force that is creating more impact and more impact. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
having me and for this amazing session. I loved it. I'm sure the people in San Francisco are going to love how much I loved it.
Perfectly. We're going international now.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. And to everyone listening and watching this episode, again, thank you so much for tuning in to a brand new episode of Voices Beyond Borders. If you liked it, please make sure to subscribe and follow us because we have a lot of upcoming guests, experts, and professionals with stories worth mentioning. I would also love to thank our sponsor, the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, for their continuous support of Lebanese youth, stories, and impact. Until next time, stay safe.